If your axle shafts are starting to give you some issues, whether you have added a lift and accelerated the wear, or the boots themselves are simply just old and in need of a refresh, these front CV axles are a great solution for your 2003 through 2024 Toyota 4Runner. Now, this set is a great choice to maintenance your 4Runner and bring back life to your driveline if both or one of your axle shafts has started to decrease performance, or you've even had a failure and want to refresh both sides with a factory style replacement. The OE design here is perfect for you if you're also not interested in a higher performance choice, whether you're daily driving your 4Runner or you just want a more affordable option to maintenance your Toyota with. Now, CV axles failing is pretty common, especially when adding a lift and throwing off suspension angles, as well as just regular old wear and tear, which is where these come into play as a solid replacement. Now, usually this happens with a more aggressive lift where the joint is at a harsher angle on either side, especially when putting added torque onto the system, and the boot sometimes just ends up rubbing and ripping, which can throw grease and allow debris to interfere with the joint inside. These, however, revitalize the system with the fresh CV joints, boots, and all of the hardware needed for a trouble-free and mess-free operation to get your driveline back in check and working as it should. These incorporate a heavy-duty build that aligns with the OEM construction, being almost identical to the factory design. Now, the axles also feature rubber boots that are durable and include a grease and a grease shield to reduce any premature wear. This also comes with new hardware for the axles, so you don't have to worry or question when it comes time to install these. You're not going to have to reinstall old components. Everything here is included in the kit. These are relatively average in price for a set of axles at about $300. Now, mostly all other options in the category for a factory style replacement are very similar, and this option comes with both sides being great if you want a total front end refresh and don't necessarily need new components otherwise, like hubs that some other kits may include if you are looking to keep it more affordable. Now, direct factory replacements from the dealer usually cost more considering the dealer premium, so again, if you're looking for a reliable solution to save you a few bucks, this is a great kit for you. Install is a 3 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, so I would recommend tackling this if you have experience to do it or taking it to a shop, and it should take about roughly 3 hours, give or take, to get the job done. However, at this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers here. They're going to show you a detailed breakdown on how you can bolt these into your front 4Runner at home. So that wraps it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you need various impacts: a 38, a 35, a 19, and a 12mm socket, a socket extension, a pry bar, and a hammer. Also not shown on the screen is a bucket. Today we're going to be installing CV axles on our 4Runner. Let's get into it. First, you're going to want to grab a flathead screwdriver or a pry bar. We're going to pull this cover off. With that, we're going to put it to the side. Then you're going to see your cotter pin in here. You just want to pry this. Pull this off, put it to the side. Then you're going to take a 35mm socket and an impact. You're going to remove this nut right here. Next, you're going to take a 19mm socket and an impact. You're going to loosen these 2 bolts right here. After that, you can take a punch or the screwdriver you used earlier and a hammer. Just want to lightly tap right here to push the axle out. You can just pull the axle the rest of the way out. Like that. Next, we're going to take off our skid plate. So to do that, we're going to be using a 12mm socket, socket extension, and an impact. Next, we're going to take a pry bar and a hammer. You want to make sure you have a bucket or something right below the axle seal, just so this fluid doesn't go everywhere. We're going to hit it off. taps. And it seems like it's pretty loose, so we can just pull it out. Now that you've taken out this axle, repeat the same process on the other side. Now it's time to install the new axle. So you just slide this one up in here. Careful with your fingers, so you don't pinch yourself. And once you get it into place, grab your pry bar and hammer. You just want to give it some nice little love taps to slide in there. After that, you want to grab a towel and wipe any excess lube off, and then just double check that everything's good in there. Sweet. From there, you're going to grab your under tray. You want to slide it on. You're going to tighten down the bolts with a 12mm socket and a socket extension. And also an impact. Next, we're going to slide the axle into here. So we're just going to pull this back. We want to slide our axle in. And just to make sure it doesn't slide out, you're going to take your castle nut that came with the kit. Just want to slide that on over, just like that. Next, we're going to insert our 2 bolts right here. Be very, very careful with these and make sure that they actually go in, because these are extremely easy to cross thread. Ask me how I know. Be very, very careful. Take your time. You do not want to buy a new knuckle because you cross threaded them. Then to tighten these down, we're going to be using a 19mm socket and an impact. Next, we're going to take a 38mm socket and an impact. We're going to tighten down this castle nut. Just like that. You're going to take the cotter pins that are included in the kit, put them in this hole, and you're going to pry it back like that. Then lastly, we're going to put our cover back on. Now that you have this axle installed, repeat the same process on the other side. Alrighty, that about wraps up this review and install of the front CV axles for an 03 to 2024 4-wheel drive 4Runner. Thank you for watching, and remember, for everything 4Runner, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.